Question 10 of the additional maths paper 2019. First question we got coordinates, so we got F and G, and we need to work out the length of the line. Whenever you see any questions with coordinates, and this will be good for when you're doing A-level as well, just plot a little, just draw them out basically. So -4 and 10, and 8 and 28. The reason why I plot them out, you don't need to draw your graph or everything. It just makes it easier to calculate, especially when we're working with our right angle triangles. When you've got a right angle triangle, you should be thinking Pythagoras at this point. If you're not, Pythagoras is the one you need to do. So we're going from -4 to 8. That will give you a distance of 12. And then from 10 to 28, you've got a distance of 18. So we use Pythagoras' formula, so that's a squared plus b squared, and then all of that is going to be square rooted. So squared and squared, and that's going to give us FG. At this point, just type that straight into your calculator, and like so. Like this. Okay, and we get the answer of 6√13 equals FG. Now it tells us that we need to give our answer in the form of that. So that's that one finished, all done. And that was two marks. The next one, we're looking at the gradient of the straight line that passes through points F and G. So when we're doing gradient, it's the change in Y. Y over the change in X. Now this can come up in your GCSE paper as well, so you should be revising this. So it's a double whammy. So 28 and 10. And remember, we're always taking away over 8. Take away -4. That leaves me with 18 on the top and 12 on the bottom. Then you're simplifying down. Use a calculator if you want to. You've got it. There's no point doing any maths you don't need to do. And that's going to give you 3/2. So the gradient M is 3/2. Okay, let's have a look at the mark scheme for these. I'm going to move myself over here. Right, so the first one, FG squared, and then it's just showing you, so any point of 12 squared plus 18 squared, and knowing that we're going to get that, but obviously we've done straight away for the square root of it. So as long as you've got some sort of method happening there, that's your first mark, which is great. So I can give myself an M1, and then an A1 for my final answer. Perfect. Then the next one, so it says, showing that we know it's divided. So this point right here is giving us our M1. And then it says there that it's mark final answer. So it's really important if you are simplifying it down. Technically, you didn't need to in this question because it says it would accept 18/12. But if you are going to simplify it down, you needed to make sure that you had that correct answer. And that would give you your A1. Write that in. And there we go. So that's 4 marks. This whole question, I think, was out of 10. Yeah, because we've got the number 6 now to go. Right, so we got, find the equation of the straight line that passes through the midpoint of the line of FG and it's perpendicular to the line. So first thing I'm going to do is get my points of F and G. So F was -4 and 10, and G was 8 and 28. Okay, so we've got to find the midpoint. So to do this, we're going to add both points up and then divide by 2. So -4 plus 8 all over 2. That would give me 4/2, which gives me 2. So that's my x value, and I'm going to do the same again. So 10 plus 28 all over 2, which gives me 38 over 2, which is 19. So my midpoint final answer is 219. It says it's perpendicular. So if we go back again, our gradient was m was equal to 3 over 2. So the rule is m1 times m2 gives us -1 because it makes that right angle. So it's going to be completely the opposite. So we use the negative reciprocal. So if I've got 3 over 2, I'm going to be timesing it by minus 2 over 3. And that will give us our -1 value. So m2, which I like to write it as, is minus 2 over 3. And the reason why I've got the little 2 there is because it's the second gradient. Now I need to get my equation. So to do my equation, I'm going to put it into y equals mx plus c. There is other versions you can use. You can do the y take away y value and so on, but I just find this is easier. That's the reason why I use it. Essentially, they're the same thing. So x plus c, we don't know what a c value is, but we have got our midpoint. So I'm just going to whack those points in now, like so. And rub that bit away. So it's 2, and then plus c. So -4, so it'd be 19 equals -4 over 3 plus c. Now, if we take that to the other side, we're adding it on. So I'm just going to do that in my calculator. So 19 plus 4 over 3. Because again, it is calculator paper, so I'm not giving myself any errors there. And that gives me our value for c. Once I'm at this point now, I've got my c value, so I've technically got my y equals mx plus c, but I need it in this format. So y equals -2/3 x plus 61 over 3. And all I'm going to do is times by 3 first, because I'm going to get rid of that 3 on each one. So that's going to give me 3y equals -2x plus 61. Now I'm just going to change them. I'm going to put it all over to the one side where it says they're positive. So 3y plus 2x, and that would become -61 equals 0. And it's in that format. They're all integers. There's no fractions, so I can say I'm done. Right, let's see the mark scheme. Oof, look at that for writing underneath. Right, the first one we got was M1 for working out. I need a different colour. What colour should I use? There we go, purple this time. So M1 for actually our workings. So as long as we've shown some sort of site of workings, we get M1. So that's fine. I can say M1 by here. The next point is actually showing my midpoint, and that gives me A1. Done. Sometimes the points go a little bit off on here. It's always odd to see. So perpendicular. So there we go. We've got -2 over 3. So that's my B1 by here. And then it says finding the equation of the straight line. So some sort of equation, which I've done this version, so that's fine. So that's M1 for that. And do I get something for finding my C value? Yeah, I get another C value for finding my C there. Then once you've got that, it's just the whole rearranging part gave me my last A1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's that question done. Okay, so it was quite a big question, but a lot of it can come up at GCSE. So, well, the GCSE maths exam. So it's worth actually going through this question and picking up as much marks as possible. Remembering your gradients, which is just changing y over changing x. Your perpendicular gradient is going to be So the negative intercept, mind me there. And then the last bit is also knowing your midpoint, adding the two coordinates you've got up together and then dividing by 2 on each different one. So working your x's together, your y's together, and then inputting it into the famous y equals mx plus c to find the rest of it. All right, see you for the next video.